I don't know if you can see from back there, but Kayvan is fully ready with fangs and everything.
I bought my fangs. Did you bring your fangs?
No, I wore them for one episode, remember? Actually, Kayvan has a really good impersonation of how I sounded when I put my fangs for the first time, because those things are really hard to talk with. But the thing is
No,
that
they're not. They're just
yes,
fine.
there is. But the thing is that all our vampires, they'll have accents, so you really can't tell if it was hard for them, because Natasha does an accent for the character, Matt has a natural accent, and you do an accent. So how did I
No,
sound?
I don't.
No. I think I little.
This is my natural voice.
I'm picking up a little bit. Do you guys hear it? Just a little bit of an accent.
Not you, Guillermo.
How did I do my? How did I speak when I had my fangs?
Like yes!
I don't think I sound like that, but okay.
Hello, nice to meet you all. Thanks all for coming. This is my actual
Very
voice.
entertaining.
Thank you for being here.
How lovely to see you all. This is what I actually sound like. And I'd keep talking like this. It's easier. It's much easier this way. Please continue.
We're going to love it. The first question that I would like to ask the both of you is, what has it been like seeing the love for this series, and obviously your characters specifically, all these years later with the show?
I mean, we have the best fans in the world. Like, you guys are amazing. Like, Guillermo has evolved so much in the last 5 seasons, and now going to our 6th and final season. I know, but let's be happy that it happened, not sad because it's over.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Because not a lot of shows get a lot of seasons like that, right? Most shows get like 3 if we're lucky, 4. We got 6 seasons. Yeah.
The Office got 20.
Okay. All right. Okay. But the point being is that we got to see this human character like Guillermo evolve, and I'm really happy where we landed with him, and I think we can all relate to him because he's human, right? So it was nice to see his trajectory, I think. I love where we ended with him. What about you?
Well, it's been an incredible journey. I'll keep talking like this, much easier. I've had the time of my life. It's been amazing. Meeting you all, just like going to outer space, getting married, getting divorced.
Stealing boyfriend.
Stealing your boyfriend, Freddy. Don't talk about Freddy. It's sore topic.
Sore topic.
It's been brilliant. I keep talking like this. It's been wonderful meeting you all and having this journey and, Guillermo's journey. And I want to be a vampire. No, I want to be a bodyguard. No, I want to be a bodyguard vampire. Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
He has a lot of dreams.
Yeah, those are what dreams are made of. Shut the fuck up.
You love it.
I love every minute of it. And, from the show, like, Kayvan has become one of my dearest, closest friends. So it's been
Don't
a great...
touch me.
So I'm going to miss him.
This is great. This is going to be so great. The relationship between your characters is very much loved, right? Right? Yes. What about their dynamic do you enjoy the most?
I mean, I like that we always, or at least the way I played Guillermo was it's always on a tightrope. Like, it was always, does he have a crush? And I think that we've made it clear that sometimes you can have affection for someone of the same sex and not have to make it sexualized, right? And even though everyone wants us to, every season, like, why aren't they boning, which is, we've seen the fan art. We've seen the art you make, very detailed, very weirdly detailed. Like, I look out my window, I'm like, how do they know the way? But I think that it's a nice relationship, and I think that these two characters have this like connection, instant rapport with each other that even though sometimes it feels like it's really harsh and toxic, and sometimes it is toxic and you need some space from that, at the end and at the core of it, they do care about each other. They do love each other in their own way. They have their own kind of love, which is great, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, whatever.
I was like, is he talking about our relationship or the character's relationship? No, it's been a. I'm going to keep talking like this. It's been incredible actually working with Harvey because it could have not been Harvey playing Guillermo. I can't imagine anyone else playing Guillermo other than Harvey. But the fact that we got Harvey. And the fact that we just connected feeds into the characters, I think, and actually is part of the Nandor Guillermo, relationship.
I think it is that because we never had a chemistry read. I was supposed to do a chemistry with Kayvan, and it didn't.
I declined.
You declined, and I was really nervous because, as you know, sometimes when you watch a show, it does come down. It always comes down to the chemistry, and these characters had been together in each other's lives for so many years that I was worried. I was like, what if this guy's like doesn't like me, doesn't
I
like
don't.
he doesn't, and what if he doesn't think I'm cool?
I don't.
He doesn't. What if he's thinks I'm super handsome and he can't focus on work?
Never gonna happen.
So for me, it was a little bit nerve-wracking because I really wanted to make this work. And the first second I met Kayvan out of the whole cast, I met all the whole cast, and it was nice introductions. And when I met Kayvan, the first thing he goes like, "Hey man," that was his reaction. I was like, "Oh, okay, good. I have a friend here." And from there on, I knew it was gonna be fine. But it's hard not to be friends with Kayvan. I mean, look, this guy. Who wouldn't be friends with him?
But I think that the dynamic between all of us is kind of the actors and the characters. It just all works so well, I mean, they're not here, but you got to give it up for Matt, Natasha, Mark, all of them. Kristen, yeah. Kristen who? No, Kristen. No, she's got the big fan base, huge. Yeah, all of them. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone else playing those roles. I can't imagine anyone playing Laszlo and Nadja.
No one.
It's just perfectly cast. I think it's funny. At one point, Natasha told me that her brother Jamie was on hold to play Guillermo. He was on hold, and I was like, Jamie? And it was like, I mean, it'd be a different take. He's like, so actually, when I first met Natasha in the trailer of the pilot, she was like, "Hi, I'm Natasha." She was getting her makeup done. She's like, my brother Jamie was up for your part. I don't know what you did, but you got it. And I was like, "Nice to meet you. My name's Harvey." And I was just like, okay. But, it's funny stories like that that's what you live for.
What a start.
Yeah, what a start.
So last season, big season, big stuff, especially between your characters whose relationship was a bit tested. So I definitely want to talk about it, but I also want to let the audience know that some of these questions might contain a little bit of spoilers. So if you are not fully caught up, just cover your ears. I'll try to be as less spoily as possible. Try to be as less spoily as possible.
How many people have all caught up with all 5 seasons?
Okay. So
That's pretty good.
We might be good. And I have a question for each of you. So we'll start with Kayvan. Guillermo, so badly throughout the seasons, has wanted to be a vampire. So badly, and has wanted Nandor to be the one to turn him. And obviously, last season, that's not exactly what happened. And so, like I had mentioned, their relationship was very much tested. At what point, maybe behind the scenes, were you, Kayvan, as an actor, just let me turn him. Let's see what will happen. Was there ever a moment like that for you?
No, I'd say, because I thought, well, he wants to be a vampire, and the whole show kind of revolves around him wanting to be a vampire. If we turn him into a vampire, then is that the end of the show? How do we figure this out? But then that's the writers. They've got to sit in a room and come up with things like that and go, well, how do we keep the story going? How do we keep a vested interest in what this guy wants? I love the fact that he got Derek to turn him into a vampire, because, this guy does kind of I've got a secret acting more hilariously than anyone. I think that's a big part of Guillermo's appeal, is that he's always got a secret, and we enjoy watching him lying to everyone, kind of trying not to get killed or, maimed, or,
There was did we keep that scene last season where you're looking for me and I'm trying to avoid you? Yeah, we did in the hallway.
They cut it out.
All right. No, they didn't. He's joking. It was a bigger scene, but we did a like a 15-minute take in the kitchen. You follow me in the living room like Guillermo, and you're looking like in the corner, and I'm hiding in the kitchen wall, and then I peek over and he's gone. Then he peeks in, and I go like that.
Did you actually expect them to keep that 15?
Well, I thought it was
the
funny.
whole show's like 22 minutes.
I know, but I thought it was funny. What am I gonna do? What are you gonna do?
This fucking guy.
But he always, yeah, you're right. He always has a secret. Yeah.
And then Harvey, Guillermo was defiant and became a vampire against Nandor's wishes, and in last season is living his best vampire era life. But obviously that proved challenging, and now he's kind of returning to being a human. How do you think being a vampire for essentially a season has impacted him, and how will that play a part in this next season?
Oh, good question. Well, he finally got what he wanted, which was to be a vampire. But remember that throughout the whole show, we keep putting in the back burner that he has Van Helsing blood running through his veins. And no one's really kind of combined those together, right? So we don't know what that looks like. So now we do. We know what it looks like where Derek made him into a vampire, but he's still a Van Helsing. So his blood is just not formed like a regular human. He has superhuman strength. He has these quick cat reflexes. And you put that with now the bite of a vampire transformation, you're gonna maybe get a little bit something different, which is why Laszlo did all those experiments and stuff, because he's just not completely transforming. I think for the character it was great because I think he's just, sometimes you say enough is enough, and I'm not waiting, and I'm tired of waiting my turn, right? I think in life we're like, okay, I'll just wait for my promotion, and I'll just wait when it's my turn, I'll be quiet in the back, and he's done. Like, he's just like, F that, I'm done. But sometimes when you jump the gun, things kind of go out of hand, and then you break people's like hearts and friendships, because it was ideally would have been great if Nandor made him into a vampire, but that didn't work out, and so that's taken away from him too. So it's kind of like a broken heart. Also, don't kill me. Those things go together, I think, hand in hand. But going to the last season, he's going to be doing more of that. He's going to be doing more of taking initiative and living his truth and what he is meant to do, whatever that means. Ooh.
And as I previously mentioned, last season, obviously, their relationship was tested because of that betrayal, essentially. And now going into this new season, they will be dealing, I would think, maybe dealing with the aftermath of everything that happened from last season. How do you think their relationship, or rather, how will their relationship be tested? Because obviously, this one thing that Guillermo really wanted from Nandor is kind of no longer a factor.
Yeah, I mean, without giving too much away, I guess it's that point if, anyone here has been in a relationship that hasn't worked out, and then they've been, betrayed, as you betrayed me with Derek. Then you make up and you get back together, but it's never quite the same. I think it kind of feels like that.
Yeah, once you cross a line, it's like when you break up with someone, like you were saying, like, and you get back together with them, there's always like remember when we broke up? It's like they never forget, like, or you'll see memes of people making jokes of like getting mad at your partner because of something they said, someone they dated 6 years ago, It's like looking at them like, oh yeah.
What happened 6 years ago?
Nothing. Nothing. No, it's true. It's just a little bit, I think for going forward, it's like there's been like, it was before when you did that with Freddie. So there was also like another marking of that. Like, remember that scene, which I think is one of our favorite scenes. I think I was talking to Kayvan about this, where like, he turns his partner into Freddie, basically, just because he's jealous that I'm hanging out with a boyfriend. And Guillermo has this whole scene of like, I've never had anything of my own my whole life. And the one time I have something that's mine, you take it away from me. And
Stop saying things that I have done.
Yeah. And so that idea that like that's more painful when it comes from someone that you care about. You would excuse it with a stranger. You'd be like, oh, that person cheated on me because of this. I don't know that person's name. But this is someone that you trust and someone that you counted as a friend. So those leave little wounds and little scars, I think, for Guillermo. And even though you forgive someone, you don't forget.
And also, as we mentioned, this upcoming season is the last season. But as you mentioned, it's very exciting that we got this amount of time.
Kayvan said, is it?
They didn't tell me that. What can you tell us about your experience going into this last season, time on set, moments with the cast and the crew?
Yeah, it was a new experience to have done 5 seasons of something and then know that the 6th season is going to be your last season. It's kind of like the farewell tour. You know, at the end of it, there's going to be like there's going to be tears, and there's going to be goodbyes, and then you kind of forget about that, and the season just starts. The momentum of filming just takes on its own, you know, as it usually does, and you just get into the work and you're enjoying it, and then you kind of remember, you're like, oh, this is the last time. This is the last time. No, we're not going to do this again. This sucks. And then, you know, you like you forget that, and then you start enjoying it again, you know, and then it comes to the end, and you're like, oh my God, this is it. So it was emotional, but it was also, you also look back and think, wow, what an amazing journey this has been. And, you know, you're hashtag grateful, and you're hashtag, you know, thankful, as we were. And actually, you know, it tied a beautiful bow in the whole experience. And then we get to come and, you know, see you guys and, you know, feel the love. Thank you. Feel the love in the room.
Hashtag love.
Hashtag love. Hashtag Freddie.
Freddie. Yeah, for me it was the same. Like, it was just like weird because we were trying to, you know, do the last season and like do a great job with it, but you're like in the moment, so the days are like, okay, we got to do it, and then before you know it, you're coming to a closing of this show, a big chapter in our lives. Like, you know, all together since the pilot, and by the time the show airs the last season, it'll be like 7 years of our lives. So, you know, that's over half a decade. You know, friendship, of working hard and traveling to Toronto and developing these characters. And for me, it was our last day of filming in true Guillermo tradition and form. It was May 2nd, which was Matt Berry's birthday, and we wrapped it like 11:40. Yeah, we wrapped it like 11:45 on May 2nd. So they have this huge cake with all our characters and Matt's character and blah blah blah. And we celebrate birthday, and then we wrap, and then 15 minutes later it's midnight. It's my birthday, and it was made
no cake though.
no cake. And
Not you, Guillermo.
And in true Guillermo form, we still had cake left over from Matt's birthday. And I was like, and then someone in the crowd, because we were drinking champagne and like crying because the show's over. It just ended 15 minutes ago. And someone goes, Harvey, isn't it your birthday too? Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is my birthday too. Out of the way. They're like moving lights around. So it was kind of like this cathartic, like weird, like coming together of like the show ending and just another chapter starting. Like another, you know, turn around the sun kind of for me. Like I was like, it's my birthday, a brand new year. And on my birthday, I close a chapter that was such a huge part of my life. So it was kind of, yeah, it was like perfect for me. Yeah.
That is the perfect way. I can
In
imagine
true
this
Guillermo
series
form.
ending. Like,
Yeah,
it's just the correct last day on
just
set.
perfect. True and true.
When it came to filming the final season, did you, either of you, find yourself wanting to maybe soak up as much as possible with the series? Because again, a big chapter in your lives. Did you find yourself maybe like going to set on days that you necessarily weren't filming? Again, just to like spend as much time with each other as possible, like soaking in as much of the show in that last season of filming as possible?
I think we're all looking at what we could take home.
Yeah, definitely. Some souvenirs from the show. I got some Nandor portraits. Very cool. But every time I try and put them up in my house, it just looks, it's just like, what the fuck is this thing on the wall?
Wait, you got a frog.
Yeah, I got a frog. Yeah, I got one of your...
One of my frogs,
one
my
of your
faces.
hybrids. Bah, bah.
Paul Jones, our special effects person, said, I'm going to send you a gift. And he sent me my rat, the rat that had my face on it. With the teeth. Remember the rat was in my ear? I don't know if that makes a visual for anyone. But yeah, I think the first couple scenes I did that, I went to set on my days off. Because no one like promoted the show like I did. I got mostly in trouble for like promoting so much of the show. Because the fans wanted it so bad, you know? So... I was always promoting anything I could, like the show, and I even started the after, Behind the Shadows show. Greetings. Just the idea that like I wanted to give as much to the show as I could because it had given me so much. And so doing that stuff on my days off were like natural. Like, I mean, I did the shows on my days off. So like the shows, I would go to work and then do like the after show on my days off. So I just did it because it started off as a one-time thing during the pandemic. And then the next week, people were like, okay, same time next week. And I was like, what? No. It was a one-time thing for the premiere of that season. And people were like, no, same time next week. And I was like, same time next week. And it's like, so me and my sister who produced the show, like we like ran together to like kind of put this like show together, scripted, visuals, interviews. We got Kayvan to come on board and be one of our first people to interview. And before you know it, we had this after show, But that was all because I love the show so much, But I would catch myself going to set on days off, like when we first had Marissa Jarrett Winokur come, and a Tony Award winner for Hairspray the musical. I know, musical, yes, we got musical theater fans. I just wanted to go meet her because I was like, oh my gosh, and then just people that you wanted to go and say hi even though you didn't have scenes together. I kind of found myself doing that in the first couple seasons.
I want to go back real quick to the props that we may or may not have taken.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is there something from the show that you did want, but production was like, I'm sorry, that stays with us?
Yeah.
Another season. I'm not crying. It's fine. I kind of. No, there were. What was there anything?
I mean, for me, I wanted that big lamp by the entrance where the staircase is, the red one. When you turn it off, it's black. And then when you turn it on, it's red from the inside. It looks like blood red, which is really cool. But Yana Gorskaya, our director, called dibs on it, and I was like, no. But I went on was like, just, well, if I can, I'd love to get this, and if I can, I'd like to get that. And to my surprise, like a lot of the stuff that I pointed were small things. Like I really like lamps, so I got a lot of the lamps, like the lamp in Nandor's room, like one of the lamps.
Yeah, the genie lamp? No.
Not the genie lamp. You should have gotten the genie lamp. The actual lamp by his door that I turn off the light, remember? There's like an actual standing lamp next to it. I did a lot of acting around that lamp. So I was like, yoink, that one. There was a lamp upstairs where I fell off the thing when I was fighting that I really liked when I was up there. I looked up, I was like, oh, that's a pretty lamp. And I just remember that being like, oh, I like that lamp. There's a portrait right in the music room.
Of a lamp?
Of a lamp. That I do a lot of walking by, and the Baron chases me by that portrait. And every time I see that portrait, I was like, it's so cool. And like there's angels flying, but it's like really goth looking and stuff like that I was like, I put on the list. And some things, yes, some things no. But the one that my prized possession is from the pilot, the first season. The lamp. Where I kept the original watch and Guillermo glasses and sweater. So, yeah.
What about the glitter portrait?
I had the glitter portrait from the pilot.
I did that portrait for him. I went to the convenience store and I bought glitter.
Creepy paper.
Like Twilight. And some paper as well. Creepy paper.
Now, I'm sure if given the chance, fans would love more. Yes, more. Big if, because we don't know, who knows, if there were to be a spin-off series, which character would you want to follow the most?
Well, you know my opinion on this.
He's actually the one who came up with the idea that we should have a spin-off, and it was like, you should have spin off Guillermo, like blah blah, and like Nandor come, like, my idea would be.
Let's see if they want. Well, let's see if they want it.
Okay, well, my idea is that we follow Guillermo and Nandor on an adventure.
Oh, that's not what.
I like the idea.
Yeah, that's not the one I said.
Well, I know that's not what he wants, but the one I want.
I said the spin-off should be Guillermo
and the
mosquito
hunters. But in that world, he should be in that world, right? Shouldn't he be in that world?
No.
Yeah. Like, we ask him for help because he becomes, like our, I don't know.
What spin-off do you guys want?
I always told him I would like a spin-off with anything that we get to work together, because it's hard to find, people that you have good chemistry with and work well with. Like, some of my best memories are not even on screen. They're like waiting for the camera to be set up and Kayvan just making jokes and stuff, funniest stuff I ever heard. That's the kind of stuff I want to do. I want to be on set, having a good time, and then creating really good, comedy and work. But the fun part is hanging out with, the people that you love, and care about. So, yeah. Spin off. Who wants to do a spin off with both of us? Yeah. There you
That's
go.
cheating.
No, it's not. They said it, right? They said it.
For the last season of filming, did either of you do a bit of reflection on from your time on the show? Maybe go back to the beginning and kind of think about yourself and how you've grown as performers and on your time on the show.
Yeah, I would say I have, because I remember doing the first season or even the pilot, and it being quite scary to do a pilot of a show based on a movie that I loved in front of the two people who were directing the pilot, who were in the movie playing vampires, and now I'm playing a vampire in front of them, and I found it quite nerve-wracking, really. And you always feel like you're going to be fired, because when the first time I popped out the coffin, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to pop out this coffin, and I've seen Taika pop out the coffin in the movie, and like, oh my God, but he knows how to do it. How am I going to do it? I've seen him do it, and he's watching me do it on a screen, and it's very nerve-wracking. But yeah, fast forward to kind of season 6, and I just playing Nandor is, it's like a second nature to me, I could be Nandor right now if you like. You hear that?
I do. That sounds like a spin-off.
Thank you.
I think, yeah, you're right. We found our groove. I think the pilot, we were still... Didn't you make the comment that you looked back at the pilot of the first season and your tone was different, their voice inflection?
No, I don't know what you're
No?
talking
Okay.
about.
I know for me, Guillermo was always written as very submissive and quiet, so it's always weird because in the first, couple seasons, when he's around the vampires, he's very soft-spoken. He never raises his voice louder than a soft whisper. He's very soft because he's terrified. He's terrified of being demoted by anything. If he gets something wrong, they demote him a year of being a vampire or towards his, future vampire role. So he lives in fear. And for me, it was really nice to find those balances where when he's not with the vampires, he's actually full voice. When he's a vampire with the mosquito hunters, he talks regular. He speaks loud. He's confident. He takes a leadership position in that group, But when he's with the vampires, he takes a backseat because he can't show any kind of too much of eagerness, makes people uncomfortable. And so he's always very submissive in the back and just get me to a vampire, just make me a vampire, just make me a vampire, which was the ongoing storyline. So I like the way that they wrote the whole Van Helsing thing, the whole bodyguard, the club embezzling, stealing money. But he was like Robin Hood. He stole from the rich to give to his mom,
That's exactly how that saying goes.
That's what the whole saying is, steal from the rich to give to your mom. Because his mom, needed it. And also he's tired of not being able to provide and being a son, an only child who can't provide. And he's been away living in this mansion and he won't tell them where. He told him he was working at the train station or at the railroad station, and that's not true. So he's lied about his job. He's lied about his sexuality, about his finances. He's lied. And so I like where we went with Guillermo, where he's had, for being a comedy, I always felt like the show had me crying a lot. Guillermo cries a lot in this show because he's human, and we're all, as a human, you go through these roller coasters of emotions, and that's okay. It's okay to cry and be sad sometimes because you didn't get what you wanted, but get back up and keep going. So I like that was kind of the motto that we show with Guillermo.
It's an incredible performance. I keep telling him, but it really is. So much nuance in it, It's I just turn up and go, greetings, I am Nandor. Yeah. But, you've had to have a lot of nuance in your performance. And I think if anyone here is from the Emmys, come on, it's time. It's time.
I always say that the show should win an Emmy. The show is an ensemble, should win an Emmy. And we got this season and we got season 6, so who knows? Who knows?
I know.
So, hi. I have one more question that I would like to ask the both of you, and then I'm going to open it up to audience questions. For anyone that would like to ask a question, there is a microphone in the center aisle of the room. If you start lining up, just please be careful. And there they go.
And they're off. I got to follow by roll. The microphone goes down.
Good save.
Good save.
And so for my last question is, we've talked quite a bit about what we do in the shadows, but you both have been involved in other projects as actors and performers. What is something you are working on or have worked on previously? It could be professional that you feel comfortable talking about, or it can be a different type of project that you're working on outside of acting that you would like to share.
Well, I've just become a father for the first time, so thank you.
The cutest. The cutest.
So yeah, being a dad for the first time is, if any, any of you out there have kids, then yeah, it is a miracle and it's a blessing every day. So learning to be a parent and being a role model, if I could give myself that, that title, looking after a helpless little baby, with my wife, and that's kind of my priority right now. And I think it's come a beautiful time that the show's ended, and now I've got this, new soul to take care of. Yeah, it's. I'm not going to start crying or anything. I just, but yeah, it's changed my life. The show's changed my life in one way, and now having a child has changed my life in a whole nother way. So, I count my blessings every day, and that's all I can say. Thank you.
And I see it. Like, I haven't seen Kayvan since the baby was born, and he just has this. He's always smiley and having this great personality, but there's this glow to Kayvan now that he's a father. Like, he's just like talking about the baby, and like my sister and I were just at dinner with him last night, and like just his face lighting up. I was like, oh, and we knew this before. We all knew he was gonna be a great father whenever he decided to be a father. And now that he is, I'm like, yep, that is the luckiest baby in the world. Like, he's gonna be an amazing father. So yeah.
Thanks.
And I'm an uncle.
Yeah.
Or was it gunkle?
Gunkle.
A gunkle. I'm a gunkle. Yeah, I did not have a baby. I've been thinking of like stuff. Oh, Kayvan and I actually did a couple work of episodes of Mickey Mouse Funhouse together. So that's funny. You get to see us in different voices. I play the voice of a house, and you play a troll. That's fun. And also, Kayvan and I have been doing. We did Archer. That was another cartoon we did together. Aside from that, Companion with Jack Quaid comes out early next year, so January. That's a good movie. Yeah, Companion. But we're just working on other stuff together. Kayvan and I are working on maybe doing something together. So who knows? We're talking about stuff. So who knows?
Exciting.
That's still secretive. So who knows?
Can't say anything more.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
I like your outfit.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I loved your outfit at Pride when you wore the, hey, I'm being gay over here.
Oh yeah, I wore Shawnee. I wore the shirt
so
that says,
much.
"Hey, I'm being gay over here."
I need to know where you got it from.
That's actually the original shirt from the show.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, Laura Montgomery, our costume designer, was nice enough to let me have it.
That's so awesome. But my name is Liz. I'm from West Palm. I'm so excited you guys are here. I love the show. I love all the characters and how just unapologetically themselves that they are. And I kind of have like a basic question, but I kind of want to ask something a little bit fun. But if you were to describe your character in 5 words to someone who's never seen the show, has no idea what any of it is, what would you say?
5 words.
Tall,
True.
relentless, hairy, sexy, goofy.
That's good. I stopped counting, but I think that's 5. Yeah, that's 5, right? That's 5, right?
That was 5.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I would say Guillermo is passionate, endearing, loving, What's another 2 words that describe it? Passionate, endearing, loving.
Maybe like badass.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
Badass, yeah, badass, and determined.
I like that. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for answering my question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Badass, yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is David. I'm from Melbourne, Florida. Love all the interactions with the characters. Love their relationships. Do you have a headcanon for Gizmo and Nandor's like first meeting, like the first day they were together? Do you have like a headcanon for that?
Like, what? Describe headcanon for everyone.
So like, how did it go basically? Because we didn't get to see that in
the
the
story,
show.
like the backstory. That
It's Panera bread. Or something. I don't know. I was kind of waiting for them to maybe do that in one of the episodes. Like, got picked up on CCTV or something. I thought that was a good idea.
yeah.
Well, that's what
They
the
didn't
spin-off's
agree.
for.
I kind of give that that backstory
The
too.
prequel. Yes.
Prequel.
I just didn't know if there was like an app or something like that, like Masters, on
Masters and vampire, masters and servants, masters and familiars.
What's he talking about?
A dating app. I was like, yeah, that's a good backstory. I think Panera Bread is for both of us.
Hi, I'm Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
Today I am Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So
Spike.
hello from a fellow vampire. I'm queer and have grown up loving horror because I've always been able to relate to stories of people being othered by society. And your guys' show is very openly and unapologetically queer. And I was curious how it felt knowing that so many other people are looking to your story in the same way that I do, of finding comfort in people that are like you.
Well, yeah, I love that our show is queer. I love that people forget they're enjoying a comedy, and people who aren't queer themselves love the show, and then they realize in the back of their head, like, oh, that's right, everyone is queer. It's like, yeah. And I think that's what we should live life is unapologetically, and we should be able to love who we love, and my sexual preference is none of your business, like that idea. And so the thing I love about the vampires is they never make it a topic of conversation. They just live their lives, and everyone accepts it as we should. Don't make it a topic. Don't make it your law. Don't make it part of your attack agenda. Someone's sexuality is theirs, and it's none of your business. And so I love that our show tells that story, and at the same time being a place of support for people who are queer, to feel seen. Growing up, I didn't see any shows like this. I would have loved to have seen a show like What We Do in the Shadows growing up, especially with a comedy horror, because people tend to go to those characters, horror characters, the monsters, if you will, that have been pushed out of society. When you're being chased down a village with pitchforks and stuff, you have to really stop and realize who's the monster here, right? Yeah, and that's what we're doing.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm from Miami Beach, and
Hi.
you had the really great episode with all the crossover vampires in the Vampire Council with like Wesley Snipes and Tilda Swinton.
Vampire Council. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wanted to know, who would you want to be your like vampire sire from like any vampire fandom?
Well, for me, I would want Buffy to be my
But Buffy's a
Sarah Michelle
slayer.
Gellar, which I got to meet, and she presented an award, and it was really surreal because it was like, she was like, from one slayer to another, And I was like, oh my God, Buffy. So for me, for Guillermo, I would love Buffy, like to be like, take me under her wing, and just be like, I know a thing or two, be like, okay. But what about vampires?
Honestly, before the show, I was never really into vampires. So but I was into the film Ed Wood, because in that there's an amazing performance of who played him? Bela Lugosi, who played. Yeah, that's it, John Landau. Yeah, fantastic. The hand, you have to be Hungarian, the woo, and all that is fantastic. So yeah, I'd say Bela Lugosi would be mine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that sound. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Soldi. I'm from Miami, and
Hi.
I love you guys. And I'm really, I wish there was. I hope there is a spinoff.
We love you too.
But my question, my question is for you, Kayvan. So you were in Cruella, which I loved, and
thank
even though you had like a couple scenes, right? But I was wondering if there was gonna be another one, and if you're gonna be in it.
Honestly, I have no idea. I'd like to think so, but you never know. John? No. Do your research.
In the movie, he's called.
Roger.
Roger.
I don't know actually. I feel like maybe Emma Stone she's doing other things now. She's doing kind of more interesting, kind of kooky stuff with what's his name? Who's that Greek director?
Oh.
The guy that did Poor Things and it's just done. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was it was an incredible performance.
I love
But,
it as you're saying that story. Somebody in the second row put a fan out that says shade. They're like this.
That kind of movie. So yeah, I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one.
Thank
That's
you.
a spin-off too. See, he should the origin story of Roger and the Dalmatians.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Morgan, and I really believe that stories can change our lives. So I'm wondering, what is the first story that both of you were fans of that you found really changed your life?
Good question.
Thank you.
As an artist or just in life in general?
In
Or
life.
Story.
Story.
Story. Story.
Or fandom.
Fandom. I got one.
Okay.
I forgot it.
All right. I think for me it was films that I watched as a kid. That
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'll do it with my fangs in.
Is that your Princess Leia?
That's my Miss Piggy. Hey, Bert. No, no.
Hi ho.
Hey, Ernie. Oh, my God. Hey, Bert. Can you make me a vampire? Not today, Ernie. Not you, Ernie. Fucking guy.
Hi.
I think I do that better than you.
You do?
Hi-ya!
That's pretty good. Yeah. Sorry. Miss Piggy's better than mine.
What was the question? No.
What was a
Star Wars, that's my final answer. Next question. No.
I think I was watching like movies that were like, I remember like being like in 6th grade and watching movies that I should not be watching, like Peter Jackson's like Heavenly Creatures, and with Kate Winslet and Melanie Linsky, and being like, oh my God, terrified, but also like those are like they're not that much older, I guess, in the movie than I am. That I was like they could act. I was just impressed by young actors that I was like, whoa, that's how do you even do that? So for me, it was like probably like Heavenly Creatures, like watching them be like tortured, but also like I want to be able to convey like that kind of storytelling.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Eric, and I'm cosplaying Victor, the Black Powder merchant from Campaign 1 of Critical Role.
Okay.
And
Hi.
kind of tying back to one of the previous questions regarding the Vampire Council, if you could invite any celebrity to join the council as themselves, who would you add?
Do they have to play a vampire themselves? Is that what you said? No. They could be any celebrity.
It could be any celebrity, yeah.
I probably still, yeah, Kate Winslet. I'd probably get Kate Winslet. to go.
Yeah?
Yeah, it would be full circle. Yeah.
Trying to.
Hi,
Oh, yeah.
Miss Piggy.
Jim Henson.
Miss
Jim
Piggy.
Jim Henson.
That's good. Yeah. There you go.
Sorry, he's not satisfied. with
That's
that
right. He
answer.
was looking at us like, I need more.
Hi, my name is Valentina, and my question is, well, in the last episode, obviously Guillermo becomes a vampire, and then he detransitions, but Derek died, and then you guys brought him back to life. What does that mean for you, Guillermo? Does that mean maybe you still are a vampire, or you still have some vampiric, like, characteristic traits? What does that mean, like, in general for you?
Tell me, what does that mean?
I don't know. You're playing Guillermo.
Right. Like I can't tell you the season 6.
I know. I'm like, is it too spoilery?
No, I think what it means is that, at the end of that scene where Derek lied dead on the floor after Nandor having to kill him, it was Laszlo who stepped up and was like, "Come on, then," and took him to, the necromancer's hut, and put him where we took Haley Joel Osment's character in the earlier seasons. I think that no one ever dies in Shadows. Like, we have every kind of power.
Except Patton Oswald.
Except Patton Oswald. That's strictly for scheduling
He's a sweet
purposes.
man. He's a sweet man. He's
yeah.
fun to work with.
So I think that that just leaves us in a place where anything's possible.
Okay.
Anything's possible, and maybe there's a different way of going about what you want for yourself as your life goal. It just looks different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy Florida.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry, my voice.
Hi.
Hey, my name is Leon. I'm from Miami. I wanted to ask, besides a vampire, what other, like supernatural creature or, mythical creature would you think Guillermo or Nandor could be?
Mythical creature.
Warlock, a witch. I think it'd be fun to do that. Like, who I want him to play, or like who?
Yeah. Like, what do you think besides, a vampire, obviously? What do you think? What other type of character?
I quite fancy being a werewolf, but that's another spin-off for another show.
That's good. I like the witches. The witches are fun.
You want to be a witch?
I think Guillermo would dabble in like the magic.
You just want to wear a dress.
No, I do that all the time. I do it all the time.
Big pointy hat.
Yeah, big pointy hat. That's true.
Ride a broomstick.
I want to sing. I think I just want to be in Wicked. I think I just want to be in Wicked.
You just want to be in Wicked?
Yeah, I think Guillermo wants to do musical theater. He did take Freddie to see Wicked. Remember? Yeah. So maybe he wants to be musical theater, I think. Yeah. What about you? Werewolf.
I said werewolf.
Got it,
You
okay.
weren't listening.
I was listening. I was thinking about Wicked.
And we definitely need a spin-off.
Yeah. See? You heard it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, fellow
It's Naja.
vampire.
Aja, what are you doing here?
I took a little walk from Antipaxos. I'm actually here with Laszlo, too.
Oh, look at that. The
Yes.
gang's all here.
Yes. My name is Emma. I'm actually from Gainesville and Manchester, UK.
Oh.
Yes. My question is, we all know that What We Do in the Shadows is a silly little show. So what silly little episode is y'all's favorite to film?
Oh, my favorite is Casino, I'd say. I love that one. That was fantastic. Because we filmed it in a casino during the pandemic. You're in 2021 in a casino that we had all to ourselves.
Empty. The whole casino was empty.
Mad.
Yeah. That was a good one. And we got to stay in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
It was really pretty. I think my favorite, we're just talking about this. I like the stuff where Nandor and Guillermo go, like nose to nose and stuff. And like they have really like great conversation. But I think I really loved the coming out episode. I think the coming out episode was really nice. I think everyone calls it the coming out episode. I think it's so funny because I think as a queer person, you never just wake up one day like, oh, I think I'm queer. I better tell everyone. I better come out. It's always funny because they call it coming out. I just think it's so funny. It's not coming out. When you tell someone that you're queer, it's letting them in. I'm not coming out. I'm letting you in.
Yeah.
And what you do with that information, it will determine how much trust we have with people, right? Sometimes we let people in, and with the information we give them, it ruins everything. With Guillermo, he let his family in at the same time that he let his roommates, which they kind of already made of, suspected, but he let them in all at once. And it was such a powerful, I think, moment. It was, nostalgic for me. Like, it's like, oh my God, this feels really familiar, for lack of a better word. But, so letting people in is, it's such a gift. And when someone lets you in, you should be very precious with that information. Yeah.
Thank you. It's so nice to see you. See you later.
And you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Max. I'm from Port St. Lucie.
You're Laszlo.
Yes. When you were shipped off to England with Naja, did you want to see anything more done with that? Or like how Nandor reacted to not having that presence in his life for so long?
Yeah, I mean, we thought we were gonna do like a little bit of. We can't do playback on the memories because the show's a documentary. So the crew wasn't with us in London, but in London he met Freddie. He fell in love. He picked up more fighting skills. Remember when he came back and he fights with Nandor at the night market, and he picks up a stick and goes, all that stuff. All those like martial like training stuff he picked up while he was in London. So we didn't see it, but the only way we justified it when we were working with our stunt director, with Tig, and like our director for that episode, Yana, was like, it wouldn't make sense. Like, how come he's really good at this? And I was like, he's been gone for a year. A lot happens in a year. He came back. He's in love. He's worked on his, his skills. So he came back even more of a badass. So people were like, whoa, where did that come from? I was like, he's been away. He's been training for a year. I wish we would have had a little more of a glimpse of that. Maybe he could have picked up. He did pick up his phone when he was in the coffin. I think at one point you could hear his journey online, which was just him in dark, and you just hear opening Oreo cookies and Pedialyte, and you hear someone go. And it's hours. I think it was online. You could watch his journey, but it was just pitch black screen, and it was just ASMR. You hear like seagulls outside the boat, and you hear the water crashing on the boat. That's all of part of our team that did that. It's really creative. But I wish we would have had like more like visuals. But we know what happens back then, and the fact that he moved on like nothing happened, is kind of disheartening for Guillermo. But that was a good season, really good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nicola. I'm from Naples, and I have a question for like each of you. So, for Kayvan, was the accent hard to nail at first? Like, did you have to practice a bit, or did you just like immediately get it?
Honestly, it was pretty instantaneous, I'd say. Just, I think based on, I'd seen the movie and then reading the pilot, I just thought, kind of this kind of thing just works with the words. It just made everything kind of pop off the page, really. So, very, very early I decided to do that. My hair was long, so I kind of had a similar hairstyle in my audition to what Nandor looks like. So it was just one of those things that just clicks quickly and just felt right. And I think, if there are any actors out there, the lesson is just to follow your instincts and not overthink it, and take a chance.
Thanks. And Harvey, for your like coming out story, like what did you put into it like the most, like from your life?
I mean, sometimes the writers would be really nice if we're doing stuff with my mom scenes. They would like let me come to the writer's room and like kind of put something down on paper with like Spanish words and like dialogue that happens in the house. That was nice. But for the coming out, I think they just took it upon themselves, and this is what's happening. And we just had a conversation about how much did we want it to be of a struggle or how intense we wanted it to be. We did different takes. So I think the first take we did was the take that ended up being used in the show, where it just felt really raw and really organic, and it just felt like I didn't plan to get emotional in that scene. It was more like you can't kill her, because she's my roommate, blah, blah, and she's not my girlfriend because she's a vampire, and I want to be a vampire too. It was more like setting up, these stepping stones in the right direction. And then while doing it, it became very emotional. And I was like, oh no, this is really emotional. And I think that's just better. I think it felt organic to do it that way. And they played into what my mom, Myrna, who plays my mom, played into. Like, she was like, ay, mijo, we don't care. We don't care that you're gay. But you want to be a vampire? That was the most troubling part to her. And then Frankie, who plays my cousin, who's amazing, he was just like, "What? Fool, you want to be a vampire?" You know? Just the way that it set up the joke, because we're still doing a comedy, but it could have this sweet, endearing moment without making it like, completely go to a really sad place. Aside from that, I didn't really have anything to say with that. I wanted to make sure that we did a really good, letting in for Guillermo.
Thank you, and see you guys at the photo op.
See you at the photo op.
See you
See you
there.
all at the photo ops. I guess. I don't know.
There.
See you there.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Bianca, or Marceline the Vampire Queen.
Oh.
Hey.
And really quick before my question, I just wanted to thank both of you for portraying people of color in kind of a series where you don't really see that portrayal very often.
It was
Like-
nothing.
It's like, especially you, Harvey, I'm Ecuadorian, so seeing queer Latinos on screen is like super important to me, and also like what you said, like being a Latino vampire, like in the pilot with Antonio Banderas in Interview with a Vampire, literally, and you can't think of many examples like that. And also, Kayvan, I also really want to thank you for being so vocally supportive of Palestine in a time where people are not really speaking up about things like that.
Bless you.
But my question is, well, I've been watching since season 1. Now it's coming to an end. Very sad. But what's something you guys are both gonna miss about being on set?
I'll miss this guy, I'll miss working with him. I mean, I'll miss working with everyone. You talk about, the show portraying, inclusivity and queerness and coming out and staying in and doing all that. But actually, a lot of it is down to the writing and the way that the writers come up with these stories, and they do it in a way that doesn't feel like it's preaching, or like the show is this kind of show, so if you like this kind of stuff, then you'll love the show. Do you know what I mean? They've done it in a very seamless way, where it's in your face, but it's not. And we've also been allowed to make fun and make jokes about everything and be outrageous without it feeling outrageous. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, hat off to the writers. We've been blessed with incredible writers and directors on the show. We're a small part of the puzzle, but it seems to be doing the.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same. I just miss this guy knocking at my trailer. Hey man, popping in or coming in and stealing my pizza.
I do.
Stealing my
He's
donuts.
always got fresh pizza in his trailer. He's not eating.
Well, because by the time I get it, it's gone. I'm like, oh boy, I'm gonna get some pizza. Kayvan. I'm gonna miss just seeing like him and the cast and crew on set every day, which becomes part of your family. And it's just. But we were so fortunate, how lucky to be able to live in that world for so long, and now this world will live forever. And who knows? Like our kids will see the show and one day be like, I wonder what that was like. But we are here talking about what it was like, and we're telling you what it was like. So we enjoy the moment now together, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
And thank you for the sweet things you said. Thank you.
We have about 2 minutes left. If we did like a quick speed round, maybe we could get through the rest of these
And
questions.
go.
Wrapping it up, my name's Lisette. I'm from Miami. Nice to meet you. I'm thankful for you. The show had such a lovely mixed bag of improv, people with backgrounds in improv and people with backgrounds in scripted acting. Is there a scene that changed dramatically, or is there a favorite scene that you have in your mind that you were allowed to improv in, or that it developed because of improv?
Yes, a lot of stuff. My favorite scene to this day is where I was talking. We improvised a scene where it's like Laszlo saying, Gizmo, get the dildos, Gizmo, like that part. Like a lot of that stuff wasn't scripted, and I was going off and I think this is never gonna make it. And I was like, try the dildos, how are they? They're fine. The idea that like he had to try them out. And I thought it would never make it, and it did. And when I saw it in the first season, I was like, oh my God, it made it. That's when I knew that we were doing something really cool, that we could push the envelope and be like, wow, they might keep this. For me anyways, yeah.
I guess the most memorable for me was actually it was the last thing I shot in season 1, and it was I was in the back lot with Jermaine and the camera guy, and he said, put that traffic cone on your head and start singing about it.
Yes.
So then, it became drug blood. Yes, I'm a wizard.
Thank you.